the secret architect who built a kingdom while he was looking away. I'm Leo, 32 years old, and right now, I'm sitting in a high-rise office in downtown Chicago, watching my partner, Marcus, sign what he thinks is a one-sided buyout agreement. For 5 years, Marcus treated me like a glorified assistant, a creative consultant with a nice title but zero authority. He loved the spotlight, the expensive suits, the way he could command a room while I sat in the back, taking notes. He used to tell me, Leo, stay in your lane. You've got a great eye for detail, but you don't have the stomach for the big leagues. While he was out networking at $500 a plate dinners, and as I eventually found out, networking with our head of marketing in hotel bars, I was busy. He thought I was just managing his calendar, but I was actually building an independent holding company right under his nose. Let me take you back to where it started. I grew up in a small town in Ohio, where success meant owning the local hardware store. My parents were blue collar. They taught me that if you want something, you build it yourself, piece by piece. When I moved to the city, I met Marcus at a tech mixer. He was charismatic, loud, and he had this way of making you feel like you were the only person in the world, until he didn't need you anymore. We started Apex Design together. Well, he started it, and I was the junior partner who did 90% of the actual work. You're the backbone, Leo, he'd say, while patting me on the shoulder, but I'm the face. People buy the face, they don't buy the bones. That phrase, it stuck with me. Early on, I realized Marcus was more interested in the lifestyle of a CEO than the actual business. He'd blow the company credit card on client relations, which usually meant bottle service for his friends. When I'd bring up the burn rate, he'd just laugh. Think bigger, Leo. Don't be so small town. The small town comments were his favorite weapon. He used them to keep me quiet, to make me feel lucky just to be in his orbit. But then, the shift happened. About 2 years ago, I started seeing the cracks. I noticed charges on the company accounts for jewelry I never saw, weekend trips to Aspen that weren't on the official schedule. And then, I saw the text. He wasn't even subtle about it. He was cheating on the business, and he was cheating on our partnership. That night, I didn't get mad. I got logical. I opened a separate account under a name he'd never recognized. I started taking on freelance consulting gigs, using my real name, not the Apex brand. I worked from midnight to 4 a.m. every single night. I'd be in the office by 8, handing Marcus his coffee and listening to him brag about a deal I had actually closed, while my own private empire was quietly growing in the background. I started investing my side hustle profits into emerging AI startups. I had a knack for it, a small town sense for what was actually useful versus what was just hype. By the time Marcus decided he wanted to restructure and buy me out for a pittance, my private portfolio was worth more than his entire company. So, here we are today. Marcus finishes signing the papers. He slides them across the mahogany table with that smug, I just won grin. There you go, Leo, he says, leaning back in his chair. $100,000 parting gift. That should be enough to get you back to Ohio. Maybe buy a nice little house near your parents. I look at the papers, then I look at him. Actually, Marcus, there's something you should know. I pull a tablet from my bag and slide it toward him. It's a printout of the latest acquisition news. I didn't tell you this, but my holding company just finalized the purchase of the debt collection agency that owns your office lease and your primary credit line. His smile doesn't just disappear, it crumbles. What are you talking about? He stammers. You don't have that kind of money. I do, I say, standing up. Because while you were busy being the face, I was busy becoming the owner. You've got 30 days to vacate this building, Marcus. And by the way, I'm taking the Apex name with me. It was in my original contract, the one you never bothered to read because you were too busy looking in the mirror. The silence in that room was the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. I walk out of that office, not as a junior partner, but as a man who finally knows his own worth. If you're out there right now, feeling small, feeling overlooked, just remember, the person who stays quiet is often the one building the loudest future. Don't let them tell you who you are. Show them when the time is right.